The police have announced the arrest of an officer who shot and killed a lawyer in Lagos. Bolanle Rahim was fatally shot by police officers on Christmas Day in Ajah area a few hours ago. A Lagos police spokesperson said the officer has since been taken into custody alongside his team members. The IGP, Usman Baba, has condemned the killing. He said the incident is against the standard operating procedure and rules of engagement of the force. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Bar Association says it will ensure justice is served on the case. The president of the association, Yakubu Maikayu, says is closely monitoring the situation. And the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has condemned Rahim's killing. In a statement, Sanwo-Olu vowed that justice will be done in the case. He also sympathized with the family and friends of the deceased and describing the incident as mindless shooting of a citizen. He said the government will support the police in the investigation and appeal to residents to remain calm and not to take laws into their hands. A lot to talk about. Very, very sad one. We don't learn in this country.
Very heartbreaking, very heartbreaking. So as you've mentioned, as you said, Rufai, this unfortunate incident happened on Christmas Day, a day when a number of people were spending time with family, rejoicing, particularly people, Christians or people who celebrate the birth of Christ. So this Lagos lawyer, Bolanle Rahim, was said at 11 a.m. to be driving alongside her sister, who was in the car, and 4 children, one of which was her own daughter. She was stopped by the police at the Ajah roundabout, and while she was trying to navigate to park, the vehicle was navigating. The police shot at the vehicle, and the bullet hit her and killed her. On getting to the hospital where she was rushed to, she was confirmed dead. Very sad, very unfortunate. There have been some reactions, as you've seen there. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the IG of Police, Baba Usman, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police as well has spoken. The Lagos State Command has spoken through their spokesman, Ben Hundeyin. And it's been identified that the person who killed her, the policeman who fired the shot, is an assistant superintendent of police attached to the Ajiwe division in Ajah. Unfortunately, earlier this month, the same Ajiwe Police Division was in the headlines for another young 31-year-old Nigerian who lost his life by stray bullet. One, Gafar Buraimo, was identified as being killed by stray bullet from a policeman from the Ajiwe Division. Unfortunately, the Ajiwe Division of the Ajah Police Station in Ajah is notorious. I myself have had an experience at that division where my brother-in-law was picked up, where he went to see off his friend, was picked up and bundled to the police station. On getting there, thinking I could, have conversations, and they started to shoot sporadically in the air. A stray bullet could have hit someone. It put the fear in me that I didn't even know existed. And so this is what Nigerians face on a day-to-day, not day-to-day basis, but very frequently, where we are living in fear of policemen who are supposed to be protecting lives and properties. Now, just going again to what's happened. So what would justice look like? Because Nigerians have been calling, rightfully so, for justice. Some newspapers have identified the said policeman. The spokesperson of the Lagos State Command has said that he's been taken into custody alongside the 2 officers who were with him. Now, they said there'll be speedy investigations, that's good. But beyond speedy investigations, which I'm hoping the police would be accountable to the Nigerian people in terms of what they've done, the process, and the eventual consequence, if indeed this policeman is found guilty in the courts. What we're asking for beyond that is this. We want prevention. Like Rufai said earlier on, how many deaths do we have to record to begin to take this very seriously? Don't forget, the same police brutality gave rise to the agitations by young people that gave rise to EndSARS in 2020. Unfortunately, we're still having to deal with this. First is right from the screening process of the police. Who are the kind of men and women that are recruited into joining the police force in Nigeria? What procedures are done to ensure that men and women who be entrusted with firearms are able and capable mentally, physically, emotionally to handle firearms? Next thing is training and retraining of our police personnel. This cannot be emphasized enough. We have talked about this a number of times. Are our policemen in Nigeria trained enough? The third, of course, is going to be, around this is consequences when they are erring policemen like this. Let us see heavy punishment as a deterrent to others and to assure Nigerians that indeed the police is your friend and not your enemy. And finally, I must speak for the police in terms of better remuneration, better welfare. Let us restore the dignity of the police force so that those men and women who stand on our streets are able and ready to do what they were recruited to do, which is to protect the lives and properties of Nigerians.
Dr. Abati?
First, commiserations with the affected families. The husband of the deceased, Mr. Rahim, not only lost a wife, he also lost an unborn child because Mrs. Rahim was said to be pregnant. And it's not enough to just say it's unfortunate, it is sad. No, it's gruesome killing, it's barbaric. It completely makes no sense. One phrase we usually say is that Nigeria happens to people. Nigeria has happened again in this instance. Not in a positive manner, but in a negative manner. This is a case of police brutality. This is a case of extrajudicial killing. This is a case of a law enforcement officer, a gentleman called Drambi Vandi. Well, I take that back. He's not a gentleman, killing an innocent citizen. And he's said to have spent 33 years in service. So what lessons do we learn from this? In October 2020, there was a protest against police brutality in parts of the country. One of the recommendations, one of the demands, was a demand for immediate psychiatric examination of policemen to ensure that they are not trigger happy. I don't know whether that psychiatric evaluation ever took place. And now in this case, Vandi, ASP Vandi, and another person called ASP Ayuba have been arrested with one of their colleagues. They should be made to face the full wrath of the law. And all the policemen in that Ajiwe police station in Naija, they should all be rounded up and sent for psychiatric evaluation at Yaba because they killed somebody on December 5. Now they've killed another person on Christmas Day. 2 persons in 1 month from one police station. In fact, if it is possible to shut down that police station temporarily by the IG, maybe that's the way to start. To just make sure that the people there, that they are not having mental health crisis, shooting people up and down. Because if you look at the narrative of what happened, Mr. Rahim said he just wanted to park the car. There was a vehicle in front of him when they were flagged down, and he was trying to find space to park the car, and the policeman just shot at them. And now we have lost a woman, we have lost an unborn child. The families involved have lost a dear one on Christmas Day. So the outcry, the outrage that has attended this is completely understandable and it is justified. Civil society organizations, presidential candidates, the governor of Lagos State, everyone in unison have said that this is unacceptable. The Inspector General of Police talks about violation of standard rules of engagement. What are these rules of engagement that the Inspector General is even talking about? Because we hear it, standard procedure all the time. What do they teach these policemen, the ones who go to police college? What do they tell them when they are doing their morning drills? Because they do it and they get away with it most of the time. We make all the noise. People will say, oh, we will get justice. We will do what has to be done. But there is another case of Gosden Tobafu also, who was killed in August in Urome, in Esan Northeast. The family has petitioned. The family is asking for the policeman to be arrested. No arrest has been made. No investigation has been carried out. The elder brother of Gosden Tobafu also said, in fact, he had to pay 200,000 naira to even get the police to start. To even record the matter. They collected another 30,000 from him. I hope that kind of idiocy will not attend this particular matter. More so, as the governor of Lagos State has waded into the matter, presidential candidates have waded into the matter. The 2 presidential candidates who spoke, Atiku Abubakar and Bola Tinubu, they said that, look, this is a very strong justification for the reform of the police. Whoever gets there, whether it's Tinubu or Atiku Abubakar or Peter Obi or Kwankwanso, whoever becomes the next president of Nigeria, must realize that one of the urgent things to deal with is the inefficiency and the brutality of the police. These policemen are paid with taxpayers' money. Those guns they have been given, it's not for them to turn their guns on innocent citizens. I thought the thing was that policemen will have to account for the bullets that they are given because it's expensive. It's only in Nigeria that you will see a policeman will go to a party and he will start shooting and he will kill people in the process. So we call policemen law enforcement officers. We have law enforcement officers. Many of them are rogues. They are lawless. This is the pure indication of what has happened in this case. And it calls for anger. It calls for outcry. And the Inspector General of Police must be told in clear terms that this is not another investigation that will just disappear, because we have had too many killings on the part of policemen. And many young people will find this very provocative. The police cannot afford to be provoking people. The fact that salaries are poor, that cannot be an excuse. President Buhari has increased their salaries recently. We have had the commissioning of many barracks across the country. So if there is standard procedure, people must, in the police must be taught those standard procedures down the line.
Okay. Sorry, I will disappoint all of you today. Commiserations to the life lost. But I ask, who is going to be next to be killed? Because it's going to happen again. And I will tell you the facts. It will happen again very soon. The police will kill people. We in the media will talk about it. Then we'll move on. Anyway, I've heard police officers say that they will just talk about it for 1 week and they will forget. The last boy that was killed, the last man, 31-year-old man that was killed at Ajiwe police station, we spoke about it for a week. It's been forgotten. Culture will eat strategy for breakfast. What society have we built? Have we not built a shambolic society? Look at society. Is this the way society should run? So we've built a corrupt, shambolic society where police officers will tell you that I will kill you and nothing will happen, and truly they will kill you. And we should even be lucky that the husband had the courage to report it. If it was only Mrs. Bolanle that was driving alone that night, she would probably be killed, pulled out of the car, thrown in the bush. Have we not seen many like that? And it would just be a case of maybe armed robber killed her and the husband will never know what happened. So we are talking about this because the husband was there. But how can you reform the police force where you have a faulty system of training? Please, everybody, you can go online, go and watch the Nigerian Police College dormitory documentary. That report was done by Nigerian Media House about 10 years ago. You need to see the shambolic place in which our police force is being trained. Is it that police you expect to treat people right in society? We deceive ourselves too much. Since Demola was killed at Yaya Baton at the Occupy Nigeria protest about 10 years ago, what has changed? Did we even learn anything from NSAS? Is it not more killings that followed NSAS? So it will happen again. The question is, when next is it going to happen? Because I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but we'll come back here and sit and talk about the next thing. Reforms will not be done. Nothing will be done concerning Ajiwe police station. I'm all laughing when we keep saying reform Ajiwe. Is it today we know the dastardly acts that goes on in Ajiwe police station? It's been going on there for over 10 years. But nothing has been done, so nothing will be done. The only time something will be done is if we have a forthright leader that truly cares and is ready to change society. And that will be hard for him, because changing society also means turning his back at his own friends. Brendan Connolly, a famous Irish poet, said, if you want to serve your age, you must learn to betray it. It's only when we have that leader that learns to betray his friends for the good of Nigeria that things will truly change. And that's why elections in the coming year matters. But I'm sorry for the loss of the life for the family, for the husband, for the unborn child, for everybody connected to her, for friends and family. I'm sorry that Nigeria happened to you, but I'm honest enough to tell you that we'll still come back here and talk about Ajiwe police station again.